Okay, so what kind of a boring reminder do I want to give you today? Well, the thing that is very uncomfortable for many of us to think about is the fact that we are not going to gain anything personally from any kind of liberation work we engage in. We're not going to reap the benefits of the labor. We're not going to reap what we sow. So this is the unfortunate reality that is very, very uncomfortable for us all to ponder upon, because when we start doing that, then we start doing grief work. And grief work is something that is very, very hard to do in Eurocentric communities. And this is what I talked about at length before on this channel. Yes, I do think everybody should be involved in some kind of grief work. Yes, I think that we don't know how to do grief work in the westernized communities, but at least coming to this understanding, coming to this realization that we're not going to actually be the beneficiaries of any kind of liberation work that we do nowadays. No matter what it is we do, okay, even if we do small little things, we're still going to feel unfulfilled. And the more uncomfortable thing for us to encounter is that we're not even going to feel fully, truly human. We will not even get to experience what it is to be actual humans under capitalism. And it is very uncomfortable, and it is also very hard for us to accept that what we are experiencing right now, this is not true humanity, because that's the only thing we've ever known. That's the only thing that has been given us. So we have a very hard time realizing that, well, this is not a true human experience, because we do not have true subjectivity. We do not experience true subjectivity, because subjectivity is not something you have. It is something you experience. It is something you practice, and it is only possible in tandem with other people in a community. When there is a subjective community, then you can be an actual subject, meaning that you have freedom and actually do things that you want honestly, not just because somebody put that thought into your mind because they want to sell you stuff. Because this is how virtualized capitalism works nowadays. They create a need in order to fulfill it, in order to sell you something that they claim is going to fulfill it. But true subjectivity may not be known by us, the modern folk. We are, however, doing an essential groundwork for future generations. This is what we also have to remember. We're not doing this to feel better ourselves. We're not doing any of the Marxist organizing or any kind of organizing you may do. We're not doing this for ourselves. We're actually doing it so that the children of our children can learn and hopefully build a better world. Does it mean that I don't believe that I'm going to see a huge change in my lifetime? Not necessarily. I am already seeing a drastic change in the world. I'm already seeing the axis of power, or whatever people call it nowadays, change. I see the empire being taken down slowly. Oh, so what slowly? It's actually pretty rapid. It appears slow to us humans because we experience time in a certain way, but it's actually very quick, the way that an empire is disintegrating nowadays. And I'm glad to be witnessing this in my lifetime, but I do have to acknowledge to myself that I'm not going to see the vast majority of the fruits of my labor. So I am coming to terms with this, and I think that the vast majority of us would benefit from coming to terms with that perceived loss. The loss of something you've never had is kind of hard to go through, but it is still necessary to address. There are certain meditations that people do to address that. There are the envisioning the future, where there is a space for you. There is a future where you are going to get to do the things you've always wanted to do and you're not allowed to do right now. All of these things can be helpful. And even just sitting and bitching about how terrible it is that you will never reap the benefits, you will never see the truly liberated world, you will never get to experience what true humanity is. Even just sitting and thinking about this may be helpful. And it also may help some of us get rid of that desire to take it upon others. Because many people in the leftist circles as well, they will take it onto each other. And I've already talked about this at length. It is not even the leftist infighting. Leftist infighting is not it. It is just sad, unfulfilled people and I'm one of them too, we just feel bad and we just want to feel better. And we may notice little things about each other, nitpick each other. We may feel like, oh, well, I'm doing more than such and such person. Why doesn't such and such person do this, etc., etc.? And all of this is necessary to address in a different context. Just as I suggested before, maybe you want to do little weekly bitch sessions, or like sessions where you just pour it all out, when you just complain and cry and grieve about all of the things you wish you could do and you don't get to do, all the things that you have done and have never been acknowledged. This may be a great therapeutic experience for many people. Do make sure that the people you do this with are trustworthy enough, because sometimes people may use this information against you. So be careful out there. Don't just think if people align with your belief systems, they're going to accept you whole, because again, we are fractured, we're fragmented, and even our community building attempts, they're also fundamentally fragmented. There is no cohesive ideological community present nowadays, unless it's very retrograde, it's very like backwards, like some religious communities. Yes, there's still some benefit for individuals being in such communities, but ultimately this is not going to lead to the resolution of the contradictions that we experience nowadays, that ultimately lead to our alienation, fragmentation, etc., etc. So do be careful about who you choose to grieve with. Maybe grieve on your own if you're able to. Maybe find people who are not even who may not even share the same political affiliation or the same belief systems as you do, and do some kind of grief work with them. Be careful again not to get under an influence of someone who may harm you, but ultimately it is essential to remind ourselves, each other, and just look in the mirror and be like, I'm never going to see a better world. I am personally never going to see a better world, and see how it feels. Cry it out if you need to. Scream it out if you need to. Bash things if they're not of great importance to you. Break things, punch a pillow, do whatever you have to. Go for a run. Scream at your television like an old person. Don't take it onto other people. Don't scream at the children that are on your lawn or whatever. But do get it out, because otherwise you're going to be stuck and you're going to start embodying these feelings. You're going to act according to these dark impulses, according to these unfulfilled desires. You will project it onto others and think that they are the culprit. And this is what actually happens with a lot of reactionary movements. They start projecting these unfulfilled states of being onto other people who are also marginalized and suffering under capitalism. And they start thinking that this is the group of people I have to hate because of them I am unhappy. And it's never a single group of people. It's never this one individual. It is always the overall material conditions that create such circumstances in which we're all suffering. So please be reminded today of taking some time to grieve upon some of these notions I mentioned today. But do let me know what you think. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Do take care of yourself and your communities first. And subscribe to me on all the social medias, even though I don't do much there. And I'll talk to you sometime later.